picture of different rituals. Praying for rain reflects the importance of water in the rice-growing tradition of Thailand. The relationship between water, soil and life shifts with nature's moods, determining the destiny of Thai farmers who have never been free from travel. For more than 50 years, His Majesty the King has collected comprehensive data on the life and living conditions of people throughout Thailand. He has thoroughly studied the cycle of drought and flood, which has caused misery to millions of Thai farmers. His Majesty has continuously devoted his time and skills to providing water through many ways and means, like a spirit making rain, to diminish drought in the land and reduce the sufferings of his people. The task of managing water, soil and life to ensure continual fertility has become an ongoing process of discovery for the king.
แล้วก็ได้ไปเยี่ยมแห่งหนึ่งคืออำเภอเขาวงจังหวัดกาฬสินธุ์แล้วก็ไปดูที่ข้าวนั้นมีรวงจริงแต่ไม่มีเม็ดหรือรวงหนึ่งมีสัก 2-3 เม็ดก็ถามเขาทำไมเป็นเช่นนี้เขาก็บอกว่าเพราะไม่มีฝนเขาปลูกกล้าไว้แล้วเมื่อขึ้นมาแล้วปักดำมันไม่ต้องดำเพราะว่าไม่มีน้ำก็ปักในทรายทำรูในทรายแล้วปักลงไปเมื่อปักแล้วตอนกลางวันก็เฉามันงอลงไปแต่ตอนกลางคืนก็ตั้งตรงขึ้นมาเพราะมีน้ำค้างแล้วก็ในที่สุดก็ได้รวงแต่ไม่มีข้าวเท่าไหร่อันนี้ก็เป็นบทเรียนที่ดีเขาก็เล่าให้ฟังอย่างตรงไปตรงมาแสดงให้เห็นว่าข้าวนี้เป็นพืชที่แข็งแกร่งมากขอให้ได้มีน้ำค้างก็พอ
The strength of rice that His Majesty then learned about was key information leading him to find an appropriate method for managing water and soil in the new farming method which he called the New Theory.
ครึ่งศตวรรษกว่าของความสะสมจากการเรียนรู้ด้วยการกระทำด้วยพระองค์เองทรงทำงานเกี่ยวเรื่องน้ำมาทรงทำงานเกี่ยวเรื่องดินมาทรงทำงานเกี่ยวกับต้นไม้ใบหญ้าป่าไม้อะไรต่างๆมาทรงทำงานเกี่ยวกับคนพอสะสมมาพอถึงจุดหนึ่งเนี่ยนะครับทุกอย่างจะสังเคราะห์เข้าหากันหมดเลยแล้วจะออกมาเป็นผลปลายทางเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยก็ทรงจัดไปยังทฤษฎีใหม่
In 1992, His Majesty the King gave guidelines for trying the new agricultural theory on the 15 Rai plot at Wat Mongkon Chaipatana, Chalerm Prakiat District, Saraburi Province. The theory is developed based upon assumptions that the majority of Thai farming families have 5 to 6 members and an average land area of 15 rai, and they rely on rainwater for farming. According to the royally initiated new theory for crop growing, that small area has to be portioned to yield the maximum benefit. The division of land in a ratio of 30 to 30 to 30 to 10 is a formula His Majesty the King has researched at length and in detail. From the 15 rai total, the king allocated the first 30% or 5 rai for rice growing, because rice is the staple food and needs to be produced in sufficient quantity for family consumption all year. The second 30% or 5 rai is for growing field crops and fruit trees in integrated farming for both consumption and sale. Water is the key of the new theory. There must be enough for farming all year round. His Majesty made detailed calculations and discovered that, on average, 1 rai of agricultural land needs 1,000 cubic meters of water. Consequently, 5 rai of rice fields plus 5 rai of field crops need a total of 10,000 cubic meters of water. So the third 30%, or 3 rai, is to represent a pond area, 4 meters deep, which can hold about 19,000 cubic meters of water. The last 10% is 2 rai of land for residential purposes and various utilities, such as a road or for a nursery, poultry farm and the like. To make the new theory complete, there has to be enough water all year round. The problem is that rainwater cannot be relied on to supply sufficient water, because there is only one rainy season a year in which to fill a pond, and that may not supply enough water. Further studies by the king showed that daily evaporation from the pond averaged 1 centimetre of depth for each dry day. If each year has a total of 300 dry days, then the pond level will subside 3 metres or by 3/4, which means 19,000 cubic metres of water will be reduced and left to only 4,750 cubic metres. This gives a risk of water shortage or lack, which has to be prevented by refilling the pond so as to provide enough water all year. His Majesty the King gave further recommendation on water management as follows. In this new theory, the premise is that in the rainy season, the rice growing season, rainwater will flow away. Rain always flows away and causes trouble for the farmers. So the water should be regulated and conserved in a consistent manner. It should be controlled so as to give a constant supply. His Majesty's concept of a large reservoir supplying a small one, and the small reservoir refilling a pond, results from the careful consideration of water management. Looking at the model area at Wat Mong Kon Chai Patana, we can see that above the project, about 5 kilometres away, is Hue Hin Khao Reservoir, which can hold 1 million cubic metres of water, constructed on the advice of His Majesty the King, as the water source to regularly refill the ponds for the new theory project. At the same time, Hue Hin Khao Reservoir depends on water from the Pa Sak Dam. This then ties in with His Majesty's formula. The large reservoir is Pa Sak Dam, which refills the small reservoir, Hue Hin Khao, and connects to the new theory project ponds, so as to reserve water for the entire year. So we can count the new theory model as Wat Mong Kon Chai Patana as complete. From arid land which could not grow crops, the land has become fertile through systematic water and soil management procedures. At the same time, farmers around the project also gain benefits from applying the new theory's principles to their own land.
ก่อนนั้นจะไม่มีที่เก็บน้ำไม่เลยฮะเวลาฝนตกมาแต่ละปีนี้น้ำก็จะไหลลาดไปเฉยๆคือไม่มีที่เก็บน้ำไว้ใช้ได้ทีนี้มาขุดสระไว้ใช้น้ำนี้ก็จะมีสระลูกใหญ่ๆนี่เก็บน้ำไว้ใช้ได้ตลอดทั้งปีว่าเอามารดน้ำผักหรือรดต้นไม้ตอนนั้นก็มาปลูกผักตะเภาโหระพานี่ใช้ที่หนึ่งงานนี้ก็สามารถจะมีรายได้ดีกว่า
The royally initiated Rain-Fed Area Development Project at Dam Samaki Village, Khao Wong District, Kalasin Province, is another model for the new theory, which the king has guided into practice in order to prove the theory in the northeast, the driest area in the country. When applying His Majesty's land apportionment formula, the area of 13 Rai 3 Ngam were divided into 4 parts. The first part was for growing rice and for other crops after the harvest season, such as sweet corn and beans. The second part was for integrated farming, and the third part was for a pond holding about 12,000 cubic meters of water for use in agriculture, utilities and fish farming. The fourth part was for building roads, a house and other buildings. Lam Payang Reservoir in the higher land above is a small basin constructed on His Majesty the King's advice in accordance with his formula. The large Huai Pai Reservoir in Mukdahan province refills Lam Payang, which supplies the ponds in the New Theory project so that they have enough water. The New Theory has clearly proved that it is a way of farming suitable for water-deficient areas like the northeast. Only 2 years after the project started, the theory has fruitfully extended to other farms. So far, more than 200 farmers located around the project have usefully applied the New Theory on their land.
พอเข้าโครงการนี่ก็ดีหลายอย่างครับเพราะว่ามองไปทั้งหลังบ่อก็มีต้นไม้มีอะไรร่มรื่นชีวิตมันก็ดีขึ้นครับแล้วก็มีงานทำตลอดทั้งปีครับหน้าแล้งหน้าฝนครับ
In 1997, the New Theory was tried and showed clearer benefits, especially when compared with the original integrated farming practice at the New Theory demonstration project at Chatmon Kon village, Bak Tang Chai district, Nakhon Ratchasima province. The first year of the trial showed that the New Theory area yielded more produce and could also be sold. The overall picture of success from the trial at the Wat Mong Kon Chai Patana, the victory over drought at Dan Samaki village, and the experiment of Chatmon Kon village is clear evidence that drought-stricken land can be changed into fully watered, productive fields of rice and many other crops, and more balanced soil. All of this shows that if water is systematically managed and combined with land use optimization, there can be sufficient rice, vegetables and staples to consume all year round. Not only do villagers have no need to buy food for themselves, they can actually have surplus produce to sell and thereby increase family income. All these are primary objectives of the Royal Initiated New Theory.
ก็นึกว่าเป็นวิธีการอย่างหนึ่งที่จะทำให้ประชาชนมีกินแบบตามอัตภาพคือไม่ได้รวยมากแต่ว่าก็พอกินไม่อดอยากฉะนั้นก็นึกว่าทฤษฎีใหม่นี้ก็คงมีประโยชน์ได้
At the same time, the New Theory has been tried in many areas around the country where there are Royal Development Study Centres as a practical model and educational source for interested persons to come to study and then apply correctly. Since it was created, this new theory has significantly altered the country's agricultural tradition. In order to produce effective results, however, farmers have to well understand and accept its main principles. Firstly, the new theory is a new agricultural concept which differs from the traditional practices. In the new concept, the land must be arranged into plots in order to grow different crops and have an all-year-round water supply. Secondly, implementation of the new theory must be made in orderly steps, starting with the foundation of self-sufficiency for family needs, then developing into production for sale. The process must be gradual. At the same time, the farmers who are ready to change to the new theory have to understand that the royal formula is not a fixed model. They must apply it appropriately to their own land conditions, using their own wisdom. Then the new theory will be genuinely successful. Man Samiwang recycles water for the greatest benefit in growing rice and a variety of crops in his own new theory plot, thus maximizing his produce. The profit he receives is not in terms of money, but in his pride, in his own effort.
ในหลวงท่านให้ความคิดท่านไม่ได้ให้สตังค์ท่านให้ความคิดว่าเราคนจนเนี่ยเราจะต้องมีขยันหมั่นเพียรแล้วว่ามีมุ่งมานะไปสักอย่างหนึ่งว่าเราเนี่ยทำเพื่อใครเราทำไมแต่ผมนะเข้าใจว่าที่พอเพียงเนี่ยพออยู่พอกินในครอบครัวแล้วไม่ต้องเป็นหนี้เป็นสินใครเราพึ่งตนเองไม่ได้ไปว่าในโดนน้ำพักน้ำแรง
Once the first step of the new theory has enabled farmers' families to have a better and self-sustaining living, the King's new theory provides a second step for developing their quality of life. Having strong families, the farmers can take the second step of the new theory. This designates cooperative working within the local community to develop production and marketing together, helping each other to enhance the quality of life for all members of the community. As the community starts to achieve unity and mutual action through the second step of the new theory, then comes the third step: cooperation between the community and banks or private companies to provide funds for developing crop production and to enable farmers to sell product at a suitable and fair price. At the same time, the banks or private companies should benefit from purchasing product at a low price. This is deemed a pattern of mutual support and benefit. The three phases of the Royal Initiated New Theory will be like waves of development, starting from the core, which is the farmer, then rippling out into the local community, and from there spreading all across the nation. Today, we can clearly see that this new system of managing water and land has put everything in balance. From now on, the Thai people envisage success through the royally initiated new theory as a way of giving farmers a more stable living based on self-sufficiency. The more the new theory spreads, the more stable the lives of the Thai people will become, creating a nation that is stronger and more prosperous, with a secured, bright future.